Hey, what's up? This is Jeff with Final Boss Editing. So today I'm going to be doing a rewrite on something I did a while back called The Orchard. So it's a short story, pretty simple plot, nothing too crazy. So pretty much taking my own advice, which is always, instead of going in and like editing piece by piece, whenever you have edits, just rewrite the whole thing. Sounds crazy, but it actually improves the fiction quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and read over, which is always good form, read over what I wrote last time I did this, do a little bit of spot. So spot editing is okay when you're just fixing grammar, but if you're doing like a full edit, better to just rewrite it. I'm going to do a quick spot edit read through and then go from there. It wasn't all that long ago when you could see the stars turn on like light bulbs out here. Always happened right before it rained, Charles Aldrin said as he pressed his knuckles out from his jeans pockets, forming little blue hills. His gaze drifted up to the afternoon sky. The setting sun rested just above the waving tops of his orange trees. His faded blue eyes drifted over the rustling leaves and searched for signs of fruit, but the sun was the only orange in sight. He turned to the broker and said, "The sun used to dive right into the west end of my orchard, and the stars would just pop out like dust settling from Apollo's chariot. You know who that is, right? I'd sit on the porch and wait. I don't know if this is necessary. We don't really have a sense of the broker. Well, Mr. Dalton, imagine what the tenants of the new development will think when they witness this phenomenon for themselves," broker Robert said as he waved. I'm going to get a glass of water. Let's do this right here. BRB for water. Ooh, I can spell. Right now. Okay, I've returned. Now I can actually read. It's always good to read out loud whenever you're doing editing, because you just don't always know. Okay. Well, Mr. Dalton, imagine what the tenants of the new development will think when they witness this phenomenon for themselves. The broker, Robert. Oh, hey, Moocher and Sour Haggis. Good to see you guys. Hey. Here, I'll scroll up so you guys can catch the beginning of the story here. Pretty much doing a rewrite of this. I rewrote the first bit yesterday. Kind of doing a quick read through of it. So pretty much whenever you edit, it's always good to rewrite. So this I'll be working on the Christmas story soon. So if you're not, but yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, Mr. Dalton, imagine what the tenants of the new development will think when they witness this phenomenon for themselves. The broker, Robert, said as he waved vaguely at the horizon. Robert, I don't need to say the broker. Robert was short and thick enough around to more than felt the seams of his suit. And the more than felt the seams of his suit. Charles studied him calmly as Robert straightened his Snoopy tie. And rubbed his dust off. Yoshi, that's awesome. That sounds really nice. I got to. I've been looking for some new games this holiday, so I probably need to get on that. Charles paused and looked across his open fields. His orchard. Incandescent glow of Los Angeles' city lights rose between the San Gabriel Mountains. Southern foothills. Oops. Gritting his teeth, Charles turned away and said, "They ain't gonna see it because it's gone, Bob. That's my point. City's too close." He nodded toward the smoldering city light. It looked just like this. It looks just like the sun. Ooh. Let me see. Oh wow, that is absolutely right. I think there we go. That should fix it. Thank you. Usually this stuff doesn't pop up, but yeah, there you go. You can catch up. Thanks for the heads up. My goodness. But yeah, so hopefully that will help. And yeah, now you can see the story. It's like, what are you editing, dude? Gritting his teeth, Charles turned away and said, "They ain't gonna see it because it's gone, Bob. That's my point. City's too close." He nodded toward the smoldering city light. That's my point. LA, Los Angeles, too close. City is too close. He nodded toward. Smoldering light. It looks like the sun just before it comes up around 4 in the morning, but it never rises. It just sits there and festers. So there are no stars to miss, Mr. Dalton. Remember, your proximity to Los Angeles is the reason you're receiving such a generous offer from my client. Besides, with the drought, I can't imagine you have much choice but to take the offer, Robert said as he raised his thin eyebrows at Charles. Charles stood a good foot taller than Robert and looked down at the abundance of gel on the broker's hair. He ran his fingers through his own loose gray hair with a kind of relief before replying, "I've weathered worse droughts." Ignoring Charles, the broker set his slim briefcase on the hood of his candy apple red Porsche and rummaged through its contents. He drew out a pile of papers and shoved them into Charles's arms. "This term sheet and the accompanying documentation are a one-time offer." Yep. Yeah, rewriting. Yeah, so then I always still have to edit my rewrites because sometimes, more often than not, I will make new misspellings whenever I'm transcribing it. But yeah, rewriting is a life changer for me. Ignoring Charles, the broker set his slim briefcase on the hood of his candy. He drew out a pile of papers, shoved them into Charles's arms. "This term sheet and the accompanying documentation are a one-time offer. I need them signed on my desk by Monday. If you want to take advantage of this deal, it's the highest it will ever be." Don't suppose y'all let me stay and just... Yeah. Thank you, Mucha. Much obliged. All right. Send this puppy out here. Okay. Taking out words like very. So even though I missed it in like my revisions here, you know, that's the nice part about rewriting is you still catch stuff that you're like, oh yeah, that's probably an unnecessary word. Very is usually want to cut that if at all possible. Tall, thin frame. I would break this up. So yeah, I mean, like that's just cutting the sentences, keeping sentence structure simple. That's one thing I'm learning more and more is the more kind of things you add to sentence structure, the more prepositions and things you're tacking on, and just the harder it is to read. And like at the end of the day, communication is key, and you want to just get the story across. And it makes those images a lot sharper. Emergency started his own hands. You don't think. See, I do a narrowing, but I'm going to break this up into another sentence too. Period. Because I had it broken up with an ing, which is kind of sloppy. Not sloppy, but it just is not necessary. Yeah, I think just cleaning up sentence structure. I kind of have this also, this tall, thin, small eyes, narrowed into Oh, sorry. This is the one I'm working on. There you go. If you want to catch the beginning. And so pretty much this is the one about oops. a farmer selling his land to get a big payout. Yeah, I can sit there for a little bit if that helps you catch up. Yeah, I didn't realize the screen was blacked out for the first bit, so weird. Let me see. Cool. So hopefully that helps catch up a little bit. But yeah, pretty much farmer is selling his land to a broker, going to get a big payout, but kind of realizing what that will cost him. I want fresh air, buy a ranch in Montana, Robert replied, as small eyes narrowed to dark. That a little bit easier to read. There we go. Did that answer your question, Moocher? Yeah, I can also scroll up a little bit longer too if you missed that first bit. Cool. Acreage, I gotta spell that right though. Quadruple your revenue. Yeah, sorry if the keyboard gets loud on this computer. And everyone's happy. True story. Yeah. Doritos Locos Tacos changed lives. Changed lives. They actually are the best tacos. I seriously could eat 1,000 of those and probably die happy. But I'd probably die, but I would definitely die happy if it was death by Doritos Locos Tacos. So then I wanted to break this up. Miserable about this. It's great. It's like Texas. We're actually, it's funny because it's snowing in Texas right now, of all things. I don't know if you guys can see that. But that's a very rare occasion, just as much as the star thing is now. And thanks. We'll see if I can make the story make sense too. Yeah, it's always fun balancing that. I get the sense that sometimes I get a little bit too caught up in description where I don't always keep the story moving in conflict. So we'll see. Awful drive, 7 minutes survived worse. Yeah, I'm excited to read. I'm excited to read yours pretty soon, Mooch. I'm gonna probably after the January kind of deadline for the little competition we did. We'll probably be going through all of them. I still have to write mine in 2 hours. I gotta get on that. I probably will. Probably will do it maybe tonight or tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I have to fly to a wedding tomorrow, so my holidays and hours of Twitch have slowly been had a few chunks taken out of them. It's been a tough season for me. As the cheeks turned around and kicked the dust between the sky. Oh, so the competition sour haggis, it's not really a competition, it's more of a challenge, I think is the right word. I may have misspoke, but pretty much we did a Christmas slash holiday challenge with a few people. I emailed everybody. Everybody, we talked about it on a stream, and everybody who was there, I sent them a message. But pretty much, and I can still send it over to you, but it's pretty much 2 hours, before January 1st. It's not necessary. Ooh, nice. That's awesome. iPads are great. But yeah, so it was pretty much, there was a few prompts. Someone would choose a prompt and then write for 2 hours. Try to do a short prose or poetry or whatever in that time. And then people have been sending them in. And then what we'll do is we'll probably edit them all live in a few days. Probably maybe in a week or so, because I have the wedding coming up, which is going to be crazy. I have to write a speech for that too. Maybe I should do that on the Twitch. Wedding speeches, writing and editing. that would be interesting to say the least. Hopefully I don't start crying. That's like one of my faults as one of my biggest pitfalls as a speaker. Especially if there's something emotional. To all those Twitch homies out there, that's my challenge. Dun dun dun. Yeah, it's good. I gotta keep myself accountable. That would be awesome. I wonder how to work that in. Charles narrowed his eyes. He stated that broke without speaking. They held each other's gaze for too long, so the hot wind kicked up dust in the trees. Deal. All right, writing game session here. Oh, nice. That's awesome. You should. Honestly, Sour Haggis, I would love. I was struggling so much to think up some good prompts. I think it was just somebody had. I think Judy Dawn is another one of the writers who streams on Twitch a lot. And and she was like, oh, we should do it. We did it for Halloween. She's like, oh, we should do it again for Christmas. And it took me a while to think of some good writing prompts. But yeah, if you have stuff already, yeah, send them over. I'll send them out to everybody who's interested. And I've been lax in my duties as a writer, and I haven't finished mine yet. But I'm gonna get. Oh, that's awesome! I'm stoked. Let me see. Oops, if I can spell. Woohoo! I'm excited. I can't wait to read it. Okay. Charles narrowed his eyes, steadied the brook without speaking. They held each other's gaze for dry leaves. We'll see. All this editing. Yeah, I want to make sure the smell adjectives, because you usually want to have all 5 senses: smell, taste, all that stuff, at least in every scene, as much as you can without being too overbearing. Like it's like something aspirational, less than like required. It even helps in screenplays, like the more you can focus on ambient sound and like bring in visuals that imply smell, that helps a lot. I'll see if I can make that kind of work here. They hold each other's gaze for the sun. Oh, I have this repeated. Oops. Charles and his eyes to the river without speaking. Only took the flowing seconds of the hot wind kicked up the dust between the trees. The scent of dry leaves and sun-baked citrus dominated the air. Granted. We'll see. I mean, this bit here is kind of throwing me for a loop. I don't know if I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase that. We'll see. Oops. There we go. It's too casual. It's actually good. Let's see. I concur. I think that was too punchy of a word. Good catch, brother Mucha. Boy's got a hell of a Oops. Hey, Zance. This is actually a rewrite edit. I don't know if this was the Orchard one you saw, but yeah, so it's probably it's going to go pretty fast because one of the principles of editing, one of my writing mentors always said was that, you never want to just spot edit, you want to rewrite as well. So I'm doing a quick rewrite. I'm still going to do a spot edit because invariably whenever you do rewrite, new spelling errors or missing commas or whatever crop up, but you feel a lot more of that flow and cohesion kind of come together if you rewrite. But good to see you. I'll probably be working on a new story pretty soon, though. It'll probably be my next stream, and it'll be part of the challenge a few people did, and we were talking about earlier, where it's kind of a holiday writing prompt. Yeah. So then I'm going to be doing a fresh draft, just like stream of consciousness, fun writing, in 2 hours is kind of the challenge, and then go from there. But yeah, it's kind of fun. I mean, I think with the rewrite, like you tighten up so much. Like it's like all those little subtle things. Oh, it's like the best way to edit. I can't sing its praises enough. But that's what the editors always say. And spindles. Okay, spiral. Trying to go there. Okay, it's a good sized home. It was. Yay. Cleaning. Ooh. You should send it over, Zance, if you want. I would love to. I love mysteries. I've been actually trying. I worked on a murder mystery. I actually did some of it on the stream, but I worked on a murder mystery a little while back, which are so challenging. Breaking eye contact, comma. Ooh, good idea. Yeah, that was like something that was kind of hard. It's actually a good spot. Just to be facing the porch party. Yeah, people have told me to try to like clean up how I do dialogue tags. That's a very good note. I've always struggled to figure out the right balance of that. Yeah, that was actually something I was like kind of mulling over. So that's actually a really solid edit. I'm glad you honed in on the parts I was struggling with. That's awesome. So thank you. Okay, cool. Trying. Okay, it's a good sized. Okay, stat sort of home. Yeah. True. That's like actually really funny because like when I actually do my written edits, I almost never flag that, but when I'm rewriting it, I tend to find myself changing that more because it does make it flow like so much better. Absolutely. Yeah. Just simple sentences. It's like I have to keep in mind with Jeff. Simple sentences. Simple sentences. Like just tell the story. Don't worry about being all floored and whatever with your prose. So I completely agree. It's like make storytelling the focus, and you just like simplify everything else. At least that's something I have to work on continually. It's a good size to outside of home. Okay, pull this term. I pull the term sheet, and it's okay. Spread. I have actually. I used Scrivener for my novel, which has been great. And people tell me, and I like probably just need to watch a tutorial or something. But people have told me like that it's like you can do so much more than with like a normal word processor. So I'm actually about to do a rewrite on my novel, and I'm debating whether I should do the rewrite in Scrivener, like I did my first draft, or if I should do it in Word. But yeah, I'm not sure. What do you think? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Scrivener because I've heard great reviews. I used it myself for the novel. It was nice to order it by chapters, but then whenever you actually like push it into like convert to book, it was kind of like really clunky. Um, but maybe I should just get over it and use it because it was nice. But it made it in like a weird font, so I had to change the font and like do a bunch of stuff. I don't know. Maybe I should just get on it. It's so nice to be able to have two panes open during the rewrite. Oh, interesting. So you can have your old draft and your new draft on each side. Interesting. Those Yankees. I agree, Moocher. It's the Southerners are a little bit more like they process internally a little bit more before they come out and say something, whereas those East Coasters will sometimes be a little bit more direct with their thought. All my writing is in it. If you have questions, I'll be glad to. Oh shoot! All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for the offer. I think I may definitely take you up on that. I've seen some of their online tutorials, which gave me like the basics on like, okay, this is how you do like a character sheet, and I probably should do that because I can actually show you. This is the This is the novel right here, and I've been using like another notebook to like take down like character notes because one of the things I've found when I'm doing a big draft is sometimes descriptions are not consistent. So I'm trying to do like character notes. What is what are the same? Because you kind of want to use consistent adjectives to describe characters, so people get like reminded. If someone's clicking on the clipboard, when they hear that sound again, they'll associate it with that character. So I'm trying to like document all that. So maybe I should just bring it all into Scrivener. I probably should. Just weird. I need to do that. All right, maybe I'll just do maybe I'll do my rewrites in Scrivener then. That convinced me. That's true. That is true. All right. I think I'll do Scrivener for my second one. Later, Moocher. Go save Yoshi Island. Thanks for hanging out, man. Save Yoshi Island. Oops. I can put on some music too for you guys. Oh yeah. Please send it over. I will definitely edit. And you can send more if you want, or if you like the edits or not. But yeah, one of the reasons I actually started this channel is, for prose and screenplays. One of the things I found that's helped me a ton is when you do a group reading and people read it out loud, or in the screenplay world it's a table read. So that's one of the reasons, especially when I'm doing editing and on other people's stuff, and a little bit less on my own, is I always try to read it out loud, because sometimes the way the words sound makes a big difference. So yeah, dude, send it over. I would love to read it and give you notes. Thanks, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. It sounds like everything all your advice has been so spot on. I expect it to be a good, a pretty solid draft. So I'm excited. It sounds like you have all the techniques down for writing solid stuff. Like rewriting, using tools like Scrivener. That's awesome. I gotta make myself use Scrivener more. I'm so used to the business world uses Word, having all these red lines of documents and stuff like that I just have to kind of cut fresh, I guess. Okay, he blushed. Okay. They'd raise his parents and they'd fought to keep the land. He and his sister enjoyed the best child. Fought to keep the land. They could have wished for. Oh, hey, Pops.
Oh, it warmed it up after hitting that.
Oh, yeah, that's good. It's the holidays. How are you doing?
Well, that thing really forced the heat out when it's on high.
Oh, it's nice. How are you, Beagle?
Tiki woke up. He's
You
fine.
woke up?
Yeah.
Your nap was good?
I'm happy good. I'm happy good.
We love you, Pops. How's
Happy.
Madre?
Madre's good. Mommy's cleaned up. I'm going to go upstairs now. I got some tea.
Okay, well, I'm gonna finish this up. I got maybe about another 30 minutes, an hour left, and then I'm gonna crank.
No, we're going to go to dinner.
6, right? Yeah. Cool. Had to say hi to the Pops. Ooh, and I just got your email. I am excited. Oops, now it's not showing up. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sweet. I will. Oh, I just got Sarah Haggis's writing prompts. Awesome. I will I will get cranking on those. I have to say, well, let me know when you send them out, Sour Haggis, and we can have I think a bunch of people have been streaming them doing the prompts. Oh, I think it was Sour Haggis earlier. I think he's still on. Sent over some writing prompts. He was talking about, because we did a writing challenge this week where, you had a holiday writing prompt. You had to write like for 2 hours really fast, and see what you came up with in 2 hours. A few people did it. They sent them all in, so I'm probably gonna edit those or just like read them through. Read them through as a group. So sweet. Well, thanks for hanging in there, Sour Haggis. Here we go. We'll keep cranking. And I'll just kind of try to talk through. Sometimes when I write, I get a little bit like in the zone. So feel free to be like Jeff. Talk us through the why. I'll try to be better about that. Woohoo! Well, I'm excited. I can try it here. Let me see if I can pull up one of the prompts and read it. I'm kind of curious now. All right. Account. All right. Let's see here. Let me see. All the cool kids were levitating 3 feet off the ground. That's awesome. Placed my hand on his shoulder. Not the comfort, but the push. Ooh. Every cloud has a silver neurochemical lining. She would often wake up in other people's dreams. Ooh, these are good. We'll have to do we'll have to do a challenge on these. I love these prompts. There we go. And there's the first scene. Second draft is still working things out. Sweet. That's awesome. Well, if I have time, because I have till what time is it? It's 4:30. I have till 6 p.m. My time, which is Mountain. So if I crank through this in time, I can actually go through that first scene right meow. So that'll be fun. I always love editing fresh stuff. It's always like everybody has such a unique voice. It's always like so intriguing to see how they handle the same storytelling challenges that come up for all of us. During those years, they did everything together. Along the M-dash. I'm excited. I always love a good fresh edit. Cool. And close his eyes. Okay, cool. Bing, bing, bing. Not that. Oops, if I could spell. That's why rewriting is sometimes challenging, because eventually it's inevitable that you know, you'll make one or two more mistakes than when you started. But that's why I'll probably do like a final read through of this really fast, which will be fun. I mean, you guys can kind of hear the whole story as a whole instead of see this like piecemeal thing. Kind of give some general thoughts. I always love that. Everything in the house. It's a fast story. I mean, this isn't much longer. We got about another 2-3 pages left, maybe. Not even. Goes quick. It is warm out here. Hey, Madre, how are you? I like your boots.
I've already walked up the mountain
You
to
did
take
already?
pictures. I took
Let's
some
turn this
pictures.
thing off. I might turn the fire thing down a little bit. How worked out?
Good.
What are you up to?
Well, I was trying these on with my wool socks.
Oh, very nice.
My hiking socks.
Fancy, fancy. I'll turn that heater on again in a little bit, but it's toasty. The old Madre. So one of the great parts about being at home is you get if I have to keep the land from, oh yeah. If I have to keep the land. Yeah, maybe I should have it more comfortable. Maybe that helps. I think that's better. Good catch. Good catch indeed. He bit us up for sisters. Oh. I was like, why is that a fragment? There we go. Let's see here. All right. Oh, yeah. His doubt. So yeah, I wanted to, so that was a passive, so this wasn't even in my notes, but you kind of feel when a sentence doesn't really punch. Oh wow, is it snowing again? No. It's like so weird. The one time I'm in Texas, it's like just, Charles's was a stream. Oh, thanks man. Smiley face. Appreciate it. We'll see. Well, hopefully this will be the last. One of my other really good friends is an absolutely beast editor. Like she is like one of the best editors I know. Like just great at line edits, especially line edits. Story structure. I've done a little bit more work with story structure, but her like grammar line edits are like top notch. So I'm probably gonna send this to her after After this final round on my side, I'm probably going to do one more read through to see if I didn't make any more spelling mistakes, and then hopefully send it out to get published. See what happens. Breeze carried the sun to the rain inside. I was here. Gust of wind and the breeze carried the sun to the rain inside, but Charles knew too many years of. That might be another case of too many commas. Yeah, I mean, I think one of my, I think I had to pay for a book too. I mean, usually like the structural story structure edits, I have to generally pay for those because a lot of because I work in like, marketing, so a lot of those guys are really good at grammar, but not too many of them are familiar with story structure and like, oh hey, like this is how you build a scene. This is like the goal stakes and the urgency of the scene. So that, yeah, it definitely gets expensive. But it's worth the money if it saves me like a draft, right? Like if it saves me one draft, it's worth like my time is worth however much, So I figure it's helpful. But sometimes you do have to pay for edits every now and then. He swore aloud, such but can't I go sign the contract? Over a dozen. Some lights on here in a second. It's getting darker out here in the southwest. All the beautiful sunsets. One nice thing about Texas is, those sunsets are pretty amazing. Can't really beat it. Lived in a lot of places, but it's tough to top that. Let's see if we can finish this puppy, and then I'll take a little breather. All right, let me think. I lost my place. Oh yeah. Ooh. Why do you think of this word? There we go. Slammed against the bookshelf behind him. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, what's up, U-Turn? And Alice Arcadia. How's it going? Once I'm almost done with this rewrite edit, and once I'm done, I'll be able to read the whole story as a whole so you guys can catch up. Pretty much, the long and short of it is farmer is selling his property for a lot of money and kind of dealing with kind of the loss of having to give all that up and give up his home. Nothing too crazy or complicated, but what up? Ooh, battery. I don't know what that means, but that's cool. Turbo. Every time oh, I guess that means it's, I don't know. Anyways, every time I see that, I think of Christmas. What's the one with Arnold? It's turbo time. Gosh, what is that? Jingle All the Way. There it is. That's a classic. It's turbo time. So, if you have that action figure, props. Turbo power. Jeez, so much to fix. Google, tell me how to Google spell check. Oh, that's right, not obscured. Yeah, I guess that's a word, maybe? We'll see. Maybe that's a word. Turn brings turbo. Major turbo. I'm such a noob to Twitch. Like all my I'm still learning all the cool terminology and stuff. All the cool symbols. I just figured out like a week or two ago if I subscribe to certain channels, I would get sweet emojis, which I got to start hunting those down. Sweet emojis. There's this really cool channel called Geek and Sundry that has a stream of like their RPG, which was pretty fun. Yeah. Cool. I'll quit ADDing and get back to work. True story. It's actually up to date. Like, I mean, I think with Word, sometimes, like, you know, the English language changes pretty fast, and Microsoft 2010 sometimes misses a few of the most recent updates, which is funny. Obscure information. I don't think I like that line very much. Yeah, very sentence structure up. Yeah, it's true. It's like, what does this, and this mean? And then like, it's like, oh yeah, you're trying to find this. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna refill my water and take a little baño break. BRB. I can scroll actually up to the top for you guys who came in a little bit late, and you can kind of see the initial setup. Yay, let there be light and heat. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. I'm actually kind of curious to hear your all's thoughts. One of my friends was telling me about this app called Periscope, where it's apparently similar to Twitch, something along those lines. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts or feelings on Periscope or its magic, but people have been. One of my friends who's really into social media, like a consultant or whatever for some companies, was like, "Oh yeah, it's like the new, it's like streaming, but it's like the new Instagram," is what they're saying. I don't know if you all would agree or disagree, but I thought that was interesting at least. Images of him and such like that. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. I've only heard little bits and pieces about it, but it's just more like kind of a general like, is that like gonna be really the next Instagram? Like maybe it'll replace Snapchat. Though Snapchat's been kicking butt lately. I've been kind of impressed about how many features they've just been packing into their product. It's insane. There we go. Sorry. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to switch between chat and Word. Periscope shares what you see in the world. External cameras default. Oh, focus on what you were doing. Ah, makes sense. Kind of a different case. Protest streams going on, some cool. Ah, okay. Oh, so it's like if I'm out like walking around and like doing stuff, I would have it running. Got it. And then like if I'm actually working on something myself, I would use Twitch. That makes a lot more sense. Well, at least it's good to know that I'm in the right place for this at least. Bullet dodged. Made it. I'm in the right place for once. Right place at the right time. All right, let's see. Homes with the quarter acre. Almost done. Are you guys stoked to finally have this done? And then I'm going to get to check out. I think I have enough time. If I do a quick read through this, I'll have enough time to read Zoss's story. I think I have dinner in an hour and 45 minutes. We'll see. I may have to cut it short. We'll see. Okay, his memories from his quarter acre. Stiff crabgrass. But fear not, if I'm not able to do the edit on your story, Zons, today, I will definitely do it soon and record it. And if you're not able to jump on and hang out and watch or whatever, I always try to send the recording over to you guys. So for me, about Twitch culture, for the longest time I wondered why so many folks around saying they were partnered. It seems so non-germane and irrelevant until they were streaming with found they were partnering with Twitch, not knowing. Twitch partners, life partners. Twitch is my life partner. I'm just kidding. Twitch partners. It's like, man, Twitch is really kicking off a lot of these domestic partnership relationships. That's awesome. Homes with critic yards. Alright, final round. Whoa. Hey, you never know. It's honestly, man, it's really bringing people together. That's amazing. What a wonderful app. That's true. I mean, hey, dude, I'm such a Twitch newbie. I didn't even know what the battery meant until I looked at it. A bunch of people have a bunch of people have been like, this is, had to explain things to me because I'm definitely, which is ironic because I actually work. My day job is in a technology company, but I'm very inept at the more common technology, I suppose. So it goes, it happens. Not everybody's got to be good at everything. Alrighty, let's see. Yeah. Kappa. Is that like bro or something? Here, I'm gonna Google. Kappa meme Twitch. Origin is based on a grayscale of John DeSempo, the employee of Justin TV, working on the chat client. He's uploaded. Can you believe that emoji is used 900,000 times a day? To convey sarcasm. So funny. That Kappa though. Yeah, the internet. It's like the same deal. Like Microsoft can't keep up. Microsoft Word doesn't keep up with the English language. I can't keep up with the internet. Yeah, it's just because that was when it was Justin TV or something apparently. Who was like working on the chat client. Good for him. He's like immortalized. That's like always so weird. Those like little things. I'm sure he like had no idea that all of a sudden his face would be like this thing that's used like 5,000 times or 900,000 times a day. That's insane. Just like the scale is mind-boggling. Oops. Yeah. Indoor song. Whoops. Trumped. Kappa. Where's my homie here? Jeez. Like half of these things, I'm like, I don't even know. Ninja Troll. Doom Guy's good though. I know where that one's from. I used to love that game back in the day. That was like, you like, would try to, hide from your parents that you were playing Doom because it was too violent. Oh, when I was a kid. Let me see. Okay, hidden hunting line. We'll see if this will make sense. Unless my numbers wouldn't be many, picture himself lounging on the plush couch in a stylish Santa Monica apartment. Last already in a five-star chair. I'll make this a subject. And seasons come. Been short-handed. Even fungus. President come and gone in the past, had been short-handed and survived. Even fungus had once rotted the oranges. Those were the oranges on his trees in the pharmacy. Once fungus had rotted the oranges. Rotted the oranges off his trees. The farm still produced. Shoulders that used to fill out his flannel jacket. Narrowed. Oops. That's true. Let me see. He pictured himself lounging on a plush couch in some stylish Santa Monica apartment. Period. So hard. Ah, much better. Thanks. I like it. I actually think that's much smoother. It's like goes back to that same principle. It's like shorter, simpler sentences, Jeff. I gotta keep reminding myself that every day. He didn't know how many more seasons he could last with the bad weather, but it sure wouldn't be many. He pictured himself lounging on a plush couch in some stylish Santa Monica apartment. The image made him laugh so hard that he nearly fell out of his rocking chair. Bad seasons had come and gone. Before. How do you have in the past? Wait, showed me many pictures. Showing some of the trees. The orange off his trees. The farm still produced. That had been quite some time ago. Since then, time had faded his sharp blue eyes to gray. The shoulders used to fill out his flannel jacket, narrowed to those of coat hangers. Those of a coat hanger. He's getting old. Mm. Long ago. Yeah. That had been quite long ago. It's a real thing. Not just a storytelling device, it's a real thing. That had been quite long ago. Since then, time had faded, sharp blue eyes to gray. The shoulders used to fill out his flannel jacket and narrow to those of a coat hanger. He was getting old. The hilltops cut the sun's dim orb in half his afternoon waxed. The wind drew the scent of rain and wet earth into the crisp air. I already use ignored a lot. I have the next line as you tried to ignore it, but I think I need to get a different or better one. Let me see. What would be a better way of writing that out? Tried to ignore it. No. Ugh, how do you use that a lot? Systemic norm. Thanks, man. You guys are so nice. Yeah, it's something I actually need to work on more, because this is actually this is something I wrote a few years ago, and I'm kind of like trying to bring it back and polish it up a little bit. But I'm realizing that I kind of have grown more reticent and lax in my descriptive writing as I've gotten a little bit older, and especially since I worked a lot on screenplays, which is kind of what I was doing for quite some time. So yeah, this is reminding me that I need to develop that, and this has been fun. A fun way to kind of immerse myself in that a little bit. So I couldn't learn if it's a smile. Inhale. Into the center of rain and what earth into the crisp air. Yep. Yeah. So one of the I should have explained this. Um, one of the really good editing principles someone always told me um, was, you have to rewrite to really edit something. So a lot of stuff is changing, but yeah, definitely I'm mooching. I'm not that hardcore. Don't worry. I wish I could first draft that well, but this is more like a 6th or 7th draft. The TV is around the fun flower language of years past in some ways. Perfect. Well, that's what. Geez, there was this French writer, Gustave Flaubert, that he wrote like Madame Bovary and these really good stories. But that's what he would always tell people. Is be like, oh, I just wrote it like this the first time. He was in the 1800s, and he may have. He was very brilliant, but there's a little bit of shades of doubt there. Yeah, I think for me, it's striking that balance is on like kind of what you're saying. It's like I think when I first pulled this draft out of kind of my old writing, I had found that when I first pulled that draft out, it was so heavy on description and so heavy on kind of the florid stuff that I lost track of the story. And I think now the stuff I'm writing now more, I'm finding that it's very, very story oriented, but I'm not taking as much time to develop the description and the world and the scene. So like I said, I think you're right. Like that efficiency, lean sentences is good. And one of the things I'm finding in fiction is the more I can focus on developing 1 or 2 details really well, the more I can focus on the story, but also still get some of those benefits and the world building that comes from a lot of description. So yeah, it's a tricky balance, and I'm very glad I did screenplays because it helped me. The story is the king. You always focus on the story first. Like that's just what you have to do. But now that I'm kind of going back and reading this, I'm like, oh hey, like these elements are good as long as they are in service to the story and don't overwhelm it, and they can sometimes make it better. So yeah, that's kind of the balance I'm continuing to learn. Yeah, Hemingway. I'm drinking water. Yeah, and it's just that's the fun. I mean, that's why it takes one a long time to develop writing. At least me, it has, because you kind of learn and you shift and you look back and you're like, oh wow, I probably should change this, or you kind of see those trade-offs a little bit clearer. Okay, silly sins. Inhale the sweet breeze. I have a gust, pretty much. Yeah, a gust of wind up here. So I don't want to repeat that. So I'll see if I can. It's kind of a shame to make the sentence more complex, but I think it's the only way to do it without reusing words. That still gonna when you inhale the sweet breeze. True. He said his job. Still, he couldn't fully repress a smile and inhale his FBE. Maybe if I change the structure. Sweet breathe. Breathe, push the screen door. Breathe, push the screen door open. And the periods of a contract and see if that's better. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's true, true, true. Some design, what's the point of remembering the wind? Is it preceding something? Yeah, I probably he reminded himself that every forecast predicted another drought. True. It's just you need to see a breeze or wind, you just saw there's a breeze, the door clapped again. Oh, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, I think I had the screen door clapped again. What do you notice? Maybe that's better. Oh, good call. Call. Maybe I'll just do like this. It's there we go. Let me see. Broker's contract fluttered on the kitchen table and the screen door clapped again in the breeze. This time Charles couldn't repress a smile as he inhaled its sweet aroma. I think that maybe works. Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's a weird paragraph. Maybe I should just kill it. I don't know. Pay attention to it. Yeah, I think try not to pay attention. Let me see. Yeah. Sit his jar and try not to pay attention to it. Good call. Oh yeah. Maybe I should say Charles smiled. Couldn't repress a smile. Couldn't. Yeah. That's true. That's true. I think I get it's part of my editor nature is I'm so OCD about like precision that sometimes you kind of lose the forest for the trees. So that's a good point. Well, I'm gonna do one fast read through here. I think I gotta go in a few minutes though. Maybe we won't have time. I'll just finish this real fast. Oh, were they? Yeesh. Oh, yeah, you're right. Mountains, mountains, mountains. Southern. Good catch. It's one of the no-nos is I sometimes always miss those little details. It's the curse of ADD. Curse of having ADD. Whew. Oh, well, it helps. I appreciate it. Any edits are always good. Hey, Silent Willow, you just caught me at the very end here. Let me see. I may have time to do a quick read through. I'm just gonna see if I have to go to dinner. I'll be right back. Hey, Pops, what time are we heading out? What time? Oh, so I have a few more minutes. Oh, cool. No, that's perfect. Well, I guess I have more time. Huh? Works for me. Sweet. It gives me more time. Well, you guys are in luck. I'll be able to read through this whole thing one more time. Take a big swig of water if I have to read this puppy out loud. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay. From the top. You know, it wasn't that long ago when you could see the stars turn on like light bulbs out here. It always happened right before it rained. Charles Dalton said as he pressed his knuckles out from his jeans pockets, forming little blue hills. His gaze drifted up to the afternoon sky. The setting sun rested just above the waving tops of his orange trees. His faded blue eyes drifted over the rustling leaves and searched for signs of fruit, but the sun was the only orange in sight. He turned to the broker and said, "The sun used to dive right into the west end of my orchard, and the stars would just pop up like dust settling from Apollo's chariot. I'd sit on the porch and watch till it was dark, knowing that rain was coming." Well, Mr. Dalton, imagine what the tenants of the new development will think when they witness this phenomenon for themselves, the broker Robert said as he waved vaguely at the horizon. Robert was short and thick enough to more than fill out the seams of his suit. Charles studied him as calmly as Robert. That's so weird. Was short and thick enough to... He was short and thick enough to fill out the seams. Just in time. I still have to do a few line edits, and this is the challenge with rewriting, is sometimes the stuff you throw in needs a little bit of polish. The broker Robert said he was short and thick enough to fill out thick enough to fill out the seams of his Armani suit. He was short and thick. Charles, okay. Charles studied him calmly. Period. Straighten the steam tire, the dust off his palms. Cool. Okay, that's better, I think. Charles paused and looked across his orchard. The incandescent glow of Los Angeles' city lights rose between the San Gabriel Mountains' southern foothills. Gritting his teeth, Charles turned away and said, "They ain't gonna see it because it's gone, Bob." I think that's too much detail. Isn't the rose past? Good point. Maybe we can get away with having the specific names. Huh. I'm gonna just pull. I think that is true though. I think one of them. One is two. Two is too many. I can just do polished loafers. I don't think I need to also say. Let me see. English loafers. Let's see lights. The Western Hills. Was approached. Charles paused and looked across his orchard. The incandescent glow of Los Angeles' city lights rose beyond the western hills. Gritting his teeth, Charles turned away and said, They ain't gonna see it anymore. They ain't gonna see it because it's gone, Bob. That's my point. City's too close." He nodded towards Los Angeles' smoldering. Toward the smoldering light. It looks like the sun just before it comes up at around 4 in the morning, but it never rises. It just sits there and festers. So there are no stars to miss, Mr. Dalton. I think the shoes for sure is too much. I almost want to leave the name detail in because it implies a lot about the character. And since it still is coming from like the narrative, I may be able to get away from it. I get away with it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think you were right. Definitely about how the two were too many, but I may lean towards keeping the one in this draft at least. We'll see if my other editor calls me out on it too. What is this, Jeff? City's too close. Okay, it never rises, just sits there and festers. So there are no stars to miss, Mr. Dalton. Remember, your proximity to Los Angeles is the reason you are receiving such a generous offer from my client. Besides, with the drought, I can't imagine you'll have much choice but to take it. Take our deal. Can't you know just take our deal, Robert said as he raised his thin eyebrows at Charles. Charles stood a foot taller than Robert and looked down at the abundance of gel in the broker's hair. He ran his fingers through his own loose, gray hair with a kind of relief before replying, "I've weathered worse droughts." Ignoring Charles, the broker set his slim briefcase on the hood of his candy apple red Porsche and rummaged through its contents. He drew out a pile of papers and shoved them into Charles's arms. You're close third. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a trade-off. I kind of I do like leaning towards specifics on details, even though it's a close. Like if it was a first person, you would like I would definitely say like yeah, I would probably need to like change it. I don't know. I kind of have a propensity like even stuff like Candy Apple Red is like that same category, right? Where it's too close. Yeah, and like Porsche, like what do you know the Porsche? What a farmer know the Porsche? Um, yeah, I may keep it for now. I think I can squeak by with it, but you're right. It is kind of that's just gonna be one of those trade-offs. I think. He drew out a pile of papers and shoved them into Charles's arms. Cool. This term sheet and the accompaniment documentation are a one-time offer. I need them signed and on my desk by Monday if you want to take advantage of this deal. This price. It's the highest it will ever be. I've lived here for most of my life, you know. Don't suppose you ought to let me stay and just build around my house, Charles said, rolling up the broker's papers and using them to point at the stocky building behind him. Robert buckled his briefcase. For safety reasons, we couldn't allow it. Besides, we are well aware of your finances or lack thereof. Why starve here when you could sell this dry land and buy a condo in downtown Santa Monica with a healthy nest egg to spare? Charles hunched in bewilderment. His tall, thin frame shrunk as he stared at his worn hands. You don't think an old farmer like me could live in a place like that, do you? He rubbed his unshaven chin and gave Robert a quizzical smile. Nowadays, there ain't too many places left for folks like us. Folks like me. Ain't too many folks like me. Besides, I swear the air is fresher than usual tonight. Want fresh air? Buy a ranch in Montana. You probably not get called out. Candy Apple's fine. Porsche's fine. It's most know the symbol. That's true. Yeah, it feels first person. It is a very close. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. That's actually something I'm trying to work on. You're actually right. It's like representing more of like the details through dialogue because people get like the people are more engaged with dialogue than the action in the story usually. It's a pricey suit. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I concur. You guys are probably right. Yeah. I hate this dust. I could do that. Let me see. Okay, where was I? Don't suppose you ought to let me stay and just build around the house, Charles asked, rolling up the broker's papers and using them to point at the stocky building behind him. Robert buckled his briefcase. For safety reasons, we couldn't allow it. Besides, we are well aware of your finances or lack thereof. Okay, Santa Monica, okay. Want fresh air? Buy a ranch in Montana, Robert replied. His small eyes narrowed to dark circles as the last remnants of his positive veneer faded. You could quadruple your acreage and quadruple your revenue. You know what that is, right? We're not going to offer you a price as generous again, Mr. Dalton. Charles raised his hand to object, but the broker cut him off. My client is aware that if the drought continues, you'll hardly have enough to eat. And then you will be forced to take anything we offer, Robert said, taking a step forward. If I hadn't assured him multiple times that you would be reasonable, he would have starved you out for the remainder of this drought and never given you such a competitive price. It's been a tough season, the farmer replied as his cheeks turned red. He kicked the dust at his feet into a trench and stared up at the cloudless sky. Awful dry, but like I said, I've survived worse. Robert laid a hand on Charles's bony shoulder and replied in a softer tone. Yeah. Let's see if I can probably try to make that change now. I was gonna try to do it later, but well, I want this dialogue to stay continuous. I'll probably fix that later. Robert laid a hand on Charles's bony shoulder and replied in a soft tone. It's been a tough decade, Mr. Dalton, one of the worst on record. Please don't go down with your ship. Don't lose millions because of some vain hope that weather patterns will change or stars will flicker or whatever. Look at the facts. Hell, look at the weather report. Remember, I'm on your side here. Charles narrowed his eyes. He studied the broker without speaking. They held each other's gazes for a few long seconds as the hot wind kicked up between the trees. The scent of dry leaves and sun-baked citrus dominated the air. Breaking eye contact, the broker grunted, tossed his briefcase into his and tossed. Oops. He opened the door and slipped inside. Be sure to sign the initial term sheet and get it on my desk by Monday. Sign an initial term sheet and get it on my desk by Monday. I need you to sign that term sheet. I need you to sign that term sheet and get it on my desk by Monday. The engine roared and the car bounded towards the interstate. And the deal's off. A cloud of exhaust rose in its wake and drifted between the orchard's trees. The car wound out of sight. Boy's got a hell of a mouth on him, Charles muttered as his eyes followed the car's retreat. He sighed and tension eased out of his shoulders. It's too many parallels. He ignored the crunch of dried leaves under his feet as he turned towards his house and climbed the porch steps. As he turned porch steps. It was a good size, stout sort of home. Fitted arms that would be open for an embrace. The russet roof sagged slightly with the repose of the aged and the wise. Walls that once housed a large, bustling family now basked peacefully in the afternoon sun. The north wind blew harder as Charles walked inside. He muttered a few more under his breath. Comments under the breath. Comments about the broker. There's a screen door. Yeah, it's weird. Ooh. That's true. That makes sense. Let me check out the exhaust. Have dust up here. I was gonna put something about the dirt leaving become millionaires. That happens. It's true. There's good money. I'm sure one of my buddies that went to film school at UCLA, they actually had a class on filming porn. But I mean, gosh, I guess that is where the money is. So the trees in the dirt layer with car. There we go. Jeez, 10 grand a month. Good gracious. Well, I guess that's right. That mind boggles and becomes rich. Well, if you write one, so normally I actually just do editing. So this is kind of a unique thing that I'm actually working on a story today. So if you write one, we'll edit it for you. Trap Lord. I need you to sign a term sheet to get it on my desk by Monday. I need more carbon on it. Drifted between the orchard's trees. The car wound out of sight. Boy's got a hell of a mouth on him. Yeah, they just don't understand. They just don't get it. Okay, He ignored the crunch of dried leaves under his feet as he turned toward home and climbed up toward home. Climbed up the porch steps. The head arms would be open for an embrace. The rusted roof sagged slightly with the repose of the aged and the wise. Walls that once housed. It's 2015. No one cares if you're naked online. Or like all these, unless you're a football person and you send all these like dumb pictures. I forget who it was. They got like in big trouble because they caught him sending a bunch of inappropriate pictures to his girlfriend or some newscaster or something. I don't know. It's just like, guys, come on. Just be patient. Boy's got a hell of a mouth on. He's like married too. It was a good size, stout sort of home. If it had arms, it'd be open for an embrace. The rusted roof flags sided at walls that once housed a large and bustling family now basked peacefully in the afternoon sun. The north wind blew harder as Charles walked inside. He muttered a few more comments about the broker under his breath as a screen. We already have that under his breath. As a screen door snapped shut behind him. Charles's chair slid easily across the smooth wood floor as he took his place at the kitchen table. He pulled the term sheet and his documentation from his pocket and spread the papers out in front of him. His old suit can turned pencil holder rattled as he scooted his chair up forward. He rested his reading glasses on the tip of his nose, and the number came into focus, $15 million. And then he only needed to pick up a pen and sign. Yeah, Cressa. So pretty much what we're doing today. So normally people will submit fiction stuff like that, and I actually may have time to edit one. So usually we'll go in and edit fiction. This is actually something that I've been working on, which is a short story, and pretty much I'm just doing a rewrite slash edit. So we're kind of reading through, and the premise is this farmer is selling his property for a lot of money. Or is getting offered a lot of money to sell his property, but it's like his home. So it's just this character kind of coming to grips with what that trade-off looks like and having to sell his home. So a broker just came in, gave him the term sheet of $15 million for the place, and now he's going to have to try to buy it, or to figure out whether he wants to sell or not. The wind rose outside, and the old rocking chair on the front porch creaked. That chair marked the spot where his grandfather told his grandmother they no longer had to rent, that they could settle down and start a family that had bought the land. He wondered what they would say to their grandson if they knew he was selling their family orchard for a clean $15 million. He blushed. His grandparents raised him and his parents here. His grandparents had raised him and his parents here. They fought to keep the land. I don't know if I should use tense is best. His grandparents had raised him and his parents here. They fought to keep the land and the family. They fought to keep the land and the family despite receiving tempting offers. We'll see. He and his sister enjoyed the best childhood they could have wished for because they saved enough to buy the orchard in the first place. Grandparents raised his parents. I think it fought for years. They fought to keep the land. And the family, despite receiving tempting offers of their own, he and his sister had enjoyed. I think I just need to use. They would say to their grandson, they had fought to keep the land of the family despite he and his sister enjoyed the best childhood they could have wished for because close eyes and minds from the mountains. Yeah, I think I just need to put the past perfect in there. Oh yeah. I think it's supposed to imply like the memories, like that he's kind of living in a with a lot of with kind of like those memories. And it's been an old full album, even now. Filling the hallway with conversation after those years, they did everything together: fishing, harvesting oranges, stargazing. Like a dandelion, it took one. Like it down, took a puff of wind to scatter his family to the four corners. Charles was a stem that stayed behind, marking that the beating heart of his family had thrived there once. Beating heart of a family had thrived there once, and might again, but he was getting older now. An urge in his gut told him to pull one of his favorite books from his shelf and read it until he forgot about the whole thing. But the broker's sharp tone and the contract's crisp, formal print took the energy from his legs. He supposed he must have read everything in that house twice over anyway. He bit his lip in frustration. His family had gone. His brothers and sisters had flown to New York. Flown to New York and San Francisco to get real jobs. He was the only one stupid enough to keep the farm. He had been the only one stupid enough to keep the farm. Rattled the screen door. The breeze carried the scent of rain inside, but Charles knew too many years of drought to hope. The thought itself annoyed him. He swore aloud, snatched a pen from the can, knocking it over, and signed the contract. Over a dozen places needed to be initialed or signed. He plowed through, page after page. A sinking feeling of loss twisted in his stomach, but he ignored it and continued. He signed the final line of the term sheet with a scribble barely passable as a signature. Oops. And he signed the final line of the term sheet with a hardly legible scribble. He jolted to his feet. His chair rocked back and slammed against in a lifetime full of memories. Let's see. The wind turned the contract's pages on the table behind him as he continued past his porch and onto the dirt driveway. He noticed he stood in the exact spot where the broker had first come with a sales proposal. As he continued I haven't turned the pages. the table behind him as he continued past his porch and onto the dirt driveway. He noticed, but he said in the exact spot. Broke it first. He noticed he was. He noticed that he was standing. First counter with the sales proposal. Shown clearer. The red of the setting sun shone clear through the sky and obscured by the setting solution. For now, the northern wind held the black, smog-clouded bay. Charles turned and paced on the soft carpet of grass between his house and his orange grove. Images of him and his sister playing tag washed over his mind. And the sweet scent of freshly crushed grass that used to follow his father's lawnmower bit his nostrils. He remembered his father sitting on the porch steps and reading the Iliad aloud to the family. More often than not, he had even had a few twists of his own. He pictured the stockbroker swinging a wrecking ball into his porch and shuddered. I did. I've been meaning to be better about replies. It's been kind of a crazy season, but I have all the challenges, and I will try to get my own done as soon as I can. I have it's been kind of a crazy holiday. My brother's getting married next week, so my next writing project is a speech for the wedding. But before that, I'll try to, or after that, I'll try to get the story worked out for this. But yeah, it's I've been a little bit I've been a little bit lazy in my endeavors here, so I'll have to step my game up. But yeah, I've gotten all the emails, and I will definitely, I think in January, probably like the first week, we'll do a stream and kind of go through all the stories that you guys have done. You guys have been amazing, much more diligent than I. And then I'll kind of go through all the challenges, kind of talk, read them aloud and talk about them. Boss is running out of time. I know. I gotta get it together. So I'll probably try to do that sometime soon. I don't know. 2 hours. Gotta find 2 hours. Yeah, it's true. Get drunk or get them drunk. Yeah. I'm hoping for both. Everybody's drunk. No one will remember the speech. It'll be fine. Yeah, those are always the toughest, is like going through the speech. Ugh. Oh my goodness. You picture the stockbroker soon and shuddered. In a few months, the pieces of his home, his memories, and his home and his memories would be swept away to make room for development with cookie-cutter houses. With quarter-acre yards, stiff crabgrass and cemented edges would uproot his orange trees. Small porches and white stucco pillars would replace the wooden floorboards of his wraparound porch and his grandfather's rocking chair. Entry rooms, 2-car garages, and dining sets would take the place of the nooks, crannies, and broom closets he'd haunted as a kid. His home would become an entire neighborhood. To laugh at how sentimental he'd grown, Charles kicked the rock off his small lawn and tromped up the steps to his porch. The string door swung lazily at his side as he settled down his grandfather's rocking chair and stared out his land and let the chair's movement ease his mind. Hector or Odysseus or another hero from his books would never sell his home for quick cash, but the broker was right. Charles needed the money, and the drought looked like it was here to stay. He didn't know how many more seasons he could last with the bad weather, but it sure wouldn't be many. He pictured himself lounging on a plush couch in some stylish Santa Monica apartment. The image made him laugh so hard that he nearly fell out of his rocking chair. You need to see that again. Fell out of his chair. Bad seasons had come and gone in the past. He had been short-handed and survived. Once the fungus had rotted off. This is being more specific. It had 3 farmhands quit during harvest and survived. Once the fungus had rotted the oranges off his trees, but the farm still produced. Tons of oranges off his trees, but the farm still produced a profit. That had been long ago. Oh, development of cookie cutter houses. Cookie cutter houses. Cool. Good note. Good catch. Yay. Charles turned at the horizon. The hilltops cut the sun. Time had faded his sharp blue eyes to gray. The shoulders used to fill out his flannel jacket had narrowed to those of a coat hanger. He was getting old. Charles turned to the horizon. The hilltops cut the sun's dim orb in half as the afternoon waned. The wind drew the scent of rain and wet earth into the crisp air. He set his jaw, reminded himself that every forecast predicted another year of drought, and tried not to pay attention to it. The broker's contract fluttered on the kitchen table, and the screen door clapped again in the breeze. This time Charles couldn't hold back a smile as he inhaled its sweet aroma. He leaned back and stared at the dimming sky above. In a flash, a star sprung into view. The rocking chair swung forward as Charles moved for a better look. His jaw tight. Fading sky. Fading sky. Darkening. I'm looking for that spot. Another scar appeared just above the cloud after 2 more. Fading sky. Where does that? Oh, there we go. No. Yeah, let's Google it. I'll just search for it. Which one are you looking at, U-turn? I'm trying to bluing. It's like Tobias. Dimming dim. Oh, just cutting out the ings. I think that's probably true. Since then, time of fading shift was remind itself. Oh, I see. Stared as the. Yeah, very true. I think I have a bad habit of using too many ings. Dim orb, dimming sky. Yeah, that's true. I have a bad habit of swallowed me better, but another star appeared just from the purple cloud for 2 more. He stretched back in his chair and watched the rest appear as the sun dipped below the western hills. The wind crescendoed. As he heard, it brushed the signed contract off the table. The papers, signed term sheets. The papers rustled in the breeze and pressed against the screen door. The house glowed orange and gold in the low light. Charles propped up his feet on the porch rail, and his eyes shone a brighter blue, a brighter blue for a moment. A final gust opened the screen door. The fluttering pages of the contract rolled across the porch. Charles didn't move to stop them. The wind picked up again, and the documents rolled, tumbled the rest of the way into the lawn. He took a deep breath, inhaling the tang of oranges in the air and the coy suggestion of moisture the wind carried. He sat calmly, confidently watching the stars flash into the sky as the broker's papers bounded westward into the soft reds of the sunset. The end. Ten more. Dim dimming dong. See, where's that orb? Yeah. Yeah, I love my ing words. It's one of my curses. Well, anyways, y'all, that is it. I think we're gonna have to go to dinner in the next few minutes. So, family during the holidays is always a priority. But thanks for hanging out in the dim blue sky, in the blue sky. But anyways, guys, take care. Thanks for hanging out, and I will try to get back on and do the challenge soon. So I got to get on that. And then, and then come the new year, a little bit after that, we'll read through all the challenges people did and just have fun talking about it. I know you guys did some awesome work, and I will also be reading. Oh, thanks for the follows, guys. I just noticed those. Crest Angel and Trap Lord. I'm sure he'll have some fun things to say. But yeah, I will be reading the one from Zonts pretty soon. But I will try. That may come a little bit later since I'm gonna try to get the other stuff done. But it was fun hanging out, guys. We'll see y'all soon, and have an awesome New Year and happy holidays.